So here we are in the east side of my garden. As you can see, my garden needs lots of tending to, but on this side of my garden you can see that I have a bunch of banana here. Let me see if I could get close to it so I could move that. Trying to give you a little more. Ooh, oh, well. Okay, the wind blew it away, but take a look at that. There's a bunch of banana on this side of my garden, and before the hurricane I video when the heart was just starting to bloom, and there were two of them, and this one made it, but the hurricane blew the other one down, and so therefore still down there, but I doubt it did anything good as far as putting out fruit like this one. So on this side of my garden you can see that I also managed to have a banana with a bunch of fruit on it. So this is it for this side. Let's go to the other side. And here's my papaya. As you can see, it's putting out blooms, and it has been blooming, and I have been what I have been doing was pinching them off because it's not going to do too well, seeing that we are very close to winter season. We're now in November, and what I'm doing is I'm just going ahead and pinch all of the blooms so that the energy can be concentrated into growing the plant a lot stronger. I'm sorry. And as you can see, that's the base of the papaya, and this papaya is I would say about a good more than 6 feet tall now, to the tallest leaves, as you can see. And we will try our best to keep it warm and hopefully make it through the winter. I think the last video I made, I did mention that I will be undergoing surgical procedure, and I am now in a healing process, and it's the first time I dared come out here and make a video. And as you can see, it's quite windy today, but with the sun up nice and warm, it's just a perfect weather, not too cold at all. And because we have neglected our garden for over a month now, as you can see, here goes my, as you can see, that's my loofah plants, my loofah vines here, still bearing fruit. Very, very unruly now. I mean, vines everywhere, and my pineapples, as you can see, my loofah has taken over. Lots of loofah everywhere. I mean, they're still very good for eating, lots of them, and lots of them are too mature to eat, that they will make a perfect sponge. So there goes for my loofah and my papaya and pineapple, which are all tropical type of plants, which as you can see is doing well. And this here is a piece of yam that my husband was not able to harvest last time we did harvest, and it came up on its own. So we have a volunteer yam in this area, which doesn't supposed to be here, because I was intending to plant something else here, such as this broccoli here, And here's, wow, nice chilies, very good. I will be picking this. I like to make seasoned vinegar with chili, garlic, and ginger, etc. for a nice dipping sauce and seasoning. And this will make some good vinegar with chili. And I believe that right there is cauliflower. And this here is a Napa cabbage. And as I said, it's quite windy. Things are like falling over. And this Napa cabbage or Chinese cabbage is forming. As you can see, it will tighten up and develop more like spear-like heads. It will just tighten up, and it's beginning to do that. Over here we have some, that's kale right there, and something is having fun with this beets here. This is broccoli, I believe. Right there is broccoli, and there's some more broccoli here going down that way. At the back of this bed you can see some mustard greens. So it's not doing too bad considering it has been neglected for a good long while. And as you can see, and take a good look at that. That's how much it has been neglected. That right there is, wow. I need to bring the diatomaceous earth here. As you can see, the ants are frantic because I moved it. I disturbed the soil, the mound of the ant hill right there. But we'll take care of that with diatomaceous earth. And over here, the sun is really nice and strong, but I had to take advantage while I still have a little bit of strength to be able to do a little bit of update. Here is my Yucca or Cassava plant, which I planted this summer, and as you can see, it's as tall as my banana. And here is the update of my banana that you see growing this summer, and it's almost ready to be harvested. I'd like to keep it there for as long as I can, even though last week the nighttime temperature actually went down to the 40s. But I can see, as you can see, that the banana fruits are doing so well that it's not been affected by the temperature yet. So I'll leave it there until I notice something that might be a signal for me to harvest that. Nevertheless, you can see that my banana fruit is doing very well, and that's about ready to be harvested in about 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully 3 or more, because the longer it stays there, the more mature, fuller, and sweeter it's gonna be. So that's for my banana update, and that's my cassava update. And you can see, I can't tell you whether it's doing very well as far as producing root vegetables, but we will find out as soon as my husband harvests this, most likely late November or early December, depending on the weather. If the weather remained nice and mild and it stays green, I'll let it stay longer in the ground. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and harvest it and see what's under the soil where this Yucca or Cassava plant is planted. So here's another thing which I have been picking on this. It's now blooming. This is my water spinach or kangkong, and I have been harvesting this non-stop almost because this is just so tender, mild tasting type of spinach, like without that kinda, to me, a strong flavor of the spinach, regular spinach. And this is a much milder and flavor and tender texture, and it's doing very well. And as you can see, it's developing some kind of pod there or seed, so might be able to harvest me some seed for next planting. Nevertheless, if you do keep the water spinach in good shape or in good soil with good, not letting it dry up completely, being water plant, water spinach, it should do well and just keep on growing. And as you can see, those are blooms there. It should do very well. It should last, I don't know, I never really planted water spinach before. I grew up eating them and watched them grow. I mean, really just grow wild where there's a lot of water. So I don't know how long I could keep that. But here in this bed, back here, you see lots and lots of mustard greens in there. That's the reason why I'm planting lots of mustard greens. I like eating them, but also for one very important reason, that this mustard green is supposed to control nematodes, which I have observed this summer when I pull out one of my tomato in this area here, and there was a nematode that you can see from the roots. So I went ahead and planted a whole lot of mustard greens in most areas where I noticed them. So I will give you more information about the nematode when I can get to it. I will do a little more research about it so I could give you more info. But for what I understand right now, mustard green helps control or even get rid of the nematodes in your soil. And here I have planted, I believe that's colored green right there. Colored green all the way down there, more colored green. And here another Chinese cabbage or Napa cabbage. And oh, let me back up. So in this area, my bottle gourd, such as this, already dried up in here. Bottle gourd and loofah are gone, done for the season. And let me show you what took over after my loofah and my bottle gourd are done producing. Take a look at that. That's my sayote. This is now what's taking over of this trellis right here. As you can see, that's my sayote plant, and it's now producing fruits. Actually, I believe there is a bigger fruit I could show you. See, take a look at that tiny little fruit there. And I want to go somewhere. I believe there's some bigger fruits here that I could show you. And let me tell you, this sayote is doing very well this year. I mean, there's so much bloom. If you look at all of that blooms. The bee is busy pollinating them. These are the blooms. Hello, there goes Kermit, our friend in this garden. And just lots and lots of blooms, and all the honeybees are very busy gathering nectars for their honey, and at the same time pollinating the sayote or merleton. That's another name for it, is merleton. Now let me go close to the bigger ones. Wow, I have no idea. I know that it's starting to bloom, my husband told me, but I bet he himself won't have no idea. Look at all of the fruits there. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know, where is it? Well, anyway, those are fruits, sayote. I could fan out and show all types, but let me just concentrate on the one close to me, the closer one. Take a look at that. Wow. Let me see. Let me give you a size comparison. I'm in a very awkward position here, and let me put my stick down. Pardon me, I'm using that to kind of prop me a little. But here, give you an idea of the size of the sayote or the merleton, as you can see. See the size of the merleton. In about a week more, we have a very good eating size, some very good eating size merleton or sayote right there. Wow. This basil here is still doing very, very well. You can still harvest some basil from this one. And I believe there's another basil plant. I think there's another one there actually. And they're doing well. We had left the garden unattended for at least 2 months. And right now it's not a very pretty looking garden, but nevertheless it's very, very productive still. We're still harvesting all kinds of things here. Okay, so in this bed, as you can see, we also have some, I believe these are cauliflowers, and my husband has mistakenly planted my pardon me, that plant there is a pepper, type of a pepper. Now I don't know, he planted it in there. I meant for that to be planted in a greenhouse, but he decided to stick that in this outdoor raised bed, so we'll have to try and keep it warm if we can. There goes another pepper there. And we just harvested a good amount of bok choy in this bed here, which I was able to share with one of my home nurse that comes to visit me. And that's a good thing. It's nothing I like better than to be able to share what I have growing in my garden. And I got a lot more stuff to show you, but I believe I shouldn't overtax myself for the first time of my garden tour. I will stick to this area for now, and I will make a video of the other side of the garden and show you what's going on there. For the time being, it's not a very well kept garden as it is, but you can see that we still have a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on in here, a lot of plants growing, such as that those cauliflower there, broccoli, Chinese cabbage, collard greens, chili peppers, just many things that we could look forward to harvesting in about a month or 3 from now, depending on what type of plant it is. Okay.